strange sensation overcame my body. I stiffened as goosebumps traveled up my arm, and the hair on the back of my neck rose. Death may have left me, but I was not alone. Someone was watching me. I rotated my head, the forest spinning around me until I found what I was looking for. Across the fire sat a motionless figure, shadowed by the dancing flames. The firelight illuminated his piercing blue eyes. They were fixed on me, and waiting for something. Strands of dark hair hung over his forehead, and stubble covered his clenched jaw. Neither of us spoke. Neither moved. I swallowed hard. Fear raced through my body and screamed at me to run, but I didn't move. I held his gaze, my steely eyes refusing to break contact with him. "If you're looking for money," I said, "I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you like the others." The thieves had emptied my saddlebags on the ground in a fit of rage, becoming angrier when they found its contents held little more than the sour cheese and moldy bread I had been rationing. Villages had been sparse out here in the wilderness these past few weeks, and I was fortunate to have what little food I did. "I'm not looking for money." His voice was low and steady, spoken with a casualness that implied he possessed all the time in the world to have this conversation. An owl hooted in the distance, the only other noise beyond the crackling flames. I lay there, waiting for an explanation, but he remained quiet. My fingers slowly traveled underneath the blanket in search of a weapon. I craved the security of having something to defend myself with. My eyes roamed, relaxing as they came to rest on Strider grazing several paces away with another horse. Strider was okay, and with him so close, my chances of escape were rising.
"The horse is fine."
The man's gaze had followed mine.
"In better shape than you are."
The pain was almost manageable now, but when I sat up on my elbows, my head began to swim.
"I wouldn't get up yet."
I ignored the advice, swaying as I moved into a sitting position and faced the stranger. The dagger concealed within my boot secretly made its way to my lap, hidden between the folds of my skirt. Without taking my eyes from the stranger, I assessed my surroundings. An escape plan was beginning to form in my mind when another memory resurfaced. This one was of the long-shafted arrows protruding from the thieves' chests, arrows that had not been delivered by my hand. My eyes fell to the long bow lying at the man's side. If he had saved my life, this complicated things. A favor had been granted, and no doubt he wanted one in return. That wasn't going to happen. I had no reason to trust this man and needed to get out of here as quickly as possible. Given my present state, I wouldn't be able to move fast, but if I kicked some of the embers at my feet into the man's eyes, it might give me enough time to reach Strider and escape.
"Before you run away,"
the man began, and I blinked, disturbed at his ability to discern my inner thoughts so easily.
"you might want to hear what I came to tell you about your father."
Warning bells urgently rang in my mind as every muscle in my body tensed. I tightened my grip on the dagger, a sea of raw emotions flooding my being. Sharp pains shot through my head as I clenched and unclenched my jaw. "I have no father." It wasn't exactly a lie. His gaze fell to the dying fire, and he reached over to grab a stick with his calloused hands. As he stoked the fire, the flames momentarily enlarged, illuminating his serious face. He was young, but his authoritative demeanor suggested a knowledge beyond his years. Calmly, he set the stick down and settled his steady gaze on me.
"Did Michael Gallows give his ring to the wrong girl, then?"
I sucked in a breath, my fingers involuntarily reaching for the familiar outline of the golden ring on my right hand. The sudden movement gave me away, destroying any hope of indifference. A smile tugged at the corner of the man's mouth, and he chuckled.
"I didn't think so."